Jimmy Carr said this great thing where he said, there are things now that we readily enjoy and use that the richest kings in the past could never even dream of, like having a shower. Then he also said, he goes, there is nothing that you can buy in the world's largest mall today that you will give a shit about in 10 years. And then he just, it was like a mic drop moment when he said it. And I was like, do you know what? Bang on. Look, I mean, you're in that game, advertising, right? Like, it's just so persistent. There are some things I'll scroll on my Facebook ad. They will show me something that can improve my life by 0.0001%. And I'm like, go to Jesus. Go to Jesus. Right? But then I'm like, do you really need it? Right? Like, is your current solution that bad that you need to invest in this, and this, right? It isn't, right? And that old adage, if it's not fixed, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
If it's not fixed, break it.
yeah, that's what people do.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Indie and Doctor podcast. We have an announcement. Today's episode is sponsored by Kupre, Kupre, Kupre. So people, check it out. If you're on YouTube, you should be on YouTube. I hope you are. If you're not, flick over, have a look at the I was going to say garnet, but it's not garnet. Have a look at the Kupre we are wearing, the clothing we are wearing. Gaurav is modeling it on screen.
I'm doing very good job. Mainu tusi koi sexy job.
Why don't you move the mic out the way, Gaurav, and give us a twirl?
Hey baby, main thonu dikhama.
There we go. Look at Dr. Mavi. Here you go. Look at that. Kupre, it says flushingly on the side. What does the back of your top say? Gaurav, show your back gains. Oh, look at that Kupre Heritage Club. This Kupre that I'm wearing, aka the jumper I'm wearing, is actually really, really warm. So warm that it's actually 12 degrees, 10 degrees outside. And I'm just wearing a banana under here. I've not got a t-shirt on because it's so warm. And this is what I'm saying. Winter is here. The timing is bang on. So you have to get your warm Kupre in. And I recommend you do this by using our link below. And you can maybe send us a picture of what you look like. Not in a dirty way.
That would be very nice.
Not in a dirty way. With you wearing the Kupre, tag us, tag Kupre, share it online. Thank you very much.
So, Pelli gal, first thing, we are banana buddies. Yeah, buddy. I'm wearing the banana like you, man.
My banana's pink, bro.
Huh?
My banana's pink.
Okay. Gonna have to correct you now. You're wearing a t-shirt, my friend. It's not a banana.
No,
okay?
This
banana
isn't a t-shirt. This is a banana. No. It's a vest.
No. Banana means vest. You know what it's like? Wife beater.
No, this is a vest because it's a scoop neck, no arms vest.
Yaar, teri badi modern ji vest hogi. It should be white, plain, wife beater.
No. This is a vest I bought when I was traveling and I've kept it since and Sanj hates it and I'm very glad about that.
And you're like, that is
on the back it says,
I keep it.
On the back it says,
right,
drink triple,
single
C
man
double,
for life.
Act single.
Say it again.
The back of the top says, drink triple, C double, act single.
A strong message.
That was the motto of the place I got it from. It was like £3.
You just, you know what? You're just reminding Sanj, listen, you are one comment away from me walking out and you covering this mortgage.
Go where? Where would I go?
Well, you come back to CSK.
We're
you
not
come back to
away.
me.
This is just a nice top. It's just a nice top that I like wearing underneath, okay?
Right.
It's not on display.
Coming back to Kupre. Very clever play on words. I like what you've done there. The thing is, in our house, I've been saying, Shindi, make up on here. I'm going to put it on. She's like, do you mean clothes or do you mean the actual top? So then Shindi's changed it to Kupre to differentiate, right? Or Kupre, but Kupre, right? Meaning clothing. Very good play on words. I do like it. And
smart.
It is very warm. So warm to the point where I'm actually quite warm. Now we got the lights on. Got the heater. You know, let me turn the heater off.
I'm actually really warm.
The heater is on for Akam, but it's boiling in here.
Winter is here, friends and family. Winter is here. Go and do your thing. Right, since we're here and Gordon's gone to go and run away, I don't know why, I'll be back in a sec. We will dive into today's topic. And today's topic, I feel like, is quite a poignant one. So we're here to talk about money. Perfect segue, since you're going to buy some clothes from Kupre. Perfect segue into money. So, Gordon, Desi attitudes towards money. Let's have a real honest conversation, okay? First of all, what do you think the traditional aspects of attitudes to money are today versus what they used to be?
That's an interesting opening question. So you mean what, for example, what do we believe versus what did our dad believe? Is that what you mean?
What do our parents believe is like sound investments, sound way to look after your money, all that stuff? Yeah. That's a probably fair place to start that's accessible for everyone to understand.
So, but pehli gall hai, jehde paise banane na, you go to work, you make the money. What are you going to do with the money? You're going to save it. You're going to put it in the bank, man. Okay? अपनी piggy bank च नहीं, not under the bed. You go to the big bank. उत्थे जाके तू जमा कराई. Okay? You put it in the bank. And and then dad, when do I get spent? Then put 50, 50 saal, you don't touch it. Huh? And then when you old man, you can't walk, no energy. फिर तू holiday fun करी. Yeah, buddy. No, actually, no. Sorry. No. 50 years तो बाद ना पुੱਤ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਇਨਵੈਸਟ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਇੰਨੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਨਾ ਤੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੇ ਦੀ. Yeah, buddy. You not enjoy money. You don't need money. Frugal man. Okay. There's a book you should read by Bill Perkins called Die with Zero.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised you didn't mention like another self-help book that I've heard of before. That's 187 episodes and you mentioned something new. Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
That is true. Die with Zero. Actually, I watched the book review on it. I was like, I'm going to be reading this book. Very interesting concept. Not what you think. It's not about being selfish. That's what the title suggests. That you just spend all your money, you don't leave anything. But a good take on things. But yes, so investments are saving. Saving is something, when I was growing up, it's saving, rainy day fund. Bad things can happen. You don't know. Agge jaake ghar vi lena, deposit. You've just gone through this and we can touch upon that and how difficult that was. So saving it was a big thing. But growing up, I didn't really hear a lot about stock shares, ISAs, investing in property. That wasn't there.
Well, I think there's a bit of pushback there. So my family motto was, you get your first paycheck or you get a paycheck, you save a portion of it. That portion should be subject to your living circumstances and what's going out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'll admit, I didn't do this in my first year of first year of paychecking. I live life. Okay.
Tell me another first. This is good. First paycheck, man. The first bit of money coming in. What did you do?
I went straight to ASOS and gave it all. Not all of it, but I gave a fair chunk. Bought some nice new Kupre. Okay.
So Kupre, what else did you do?
What else did I buy?
Do you remember?
I think that's it. Genuinely, that is all I could like muster up the energy for. And I was like, okay, this is enough. I was only on like a 20k salary. Like I was like, oh, okay. I've not got
but the thing is, when you've gone from no money to money, the thing is, like even if it's $1,000, I think my first paycheck as a doctor was like 16.
Was that 1.3k, something like that?
Yeah, I was at 1,600, 1,800. I think was my first doctor pay. And I was like, mate, I'm going to the Apple store, then I'm going to the Bose store. So in Bowling, these two opposite each other. I was like, mata, sara kuch na. That first Christmas, my God, the Christmas presents I bought, I was like, mate, when I got the ball pay again, I was like,
yeah. And then you're like, I have nothing left. Whoops.
Yeah. No, then you're like, it's okay. Next month, whole paise aaye ne?
Next month, you're living paycheck to paycheck without realizing you're exhibiting all these bad behavior patterns. Then over time, I started realizing, okay, maybe I should start saving. And I did save bits and bobs.
Add the bit there. 5 years later. 10 years later.
No, so I actually did save a fair bit, but then I went on things like holidays I couldn't go on with friends. So I went to Cancun. I went to New York with you guys. What else did I do? I went to...
You did your big discover yourself holiday.
I went to Morocco with the money I made as well. I went traveling. So I spent it well on experiences that I feel like were good for me and for what I wanted to have in life. Other people were very different. Now, what my parents were saying was save it, which is great. But I didn't know that their only plan was you just save for a deposit. I didn't know about finance YouTubers or finance tube back then, or not back then. Today is what is known. That didn't exist. It was very minimal, the education around it. So nowadays you can go onto YouTube and you can type in Damien Talks Money and he will tell you every little topic you need to know about money and investment in the UK specific advice, which is perfect. And it'll give you a very nuanced breakdown of how things work, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing without giving investment advice, but also trying to explain bits and bobs to you. That's a nice rabbit hole to fall down. There's a bunch of other people to follow, but he's the one that every time he puts a video out, I watch it because I feel like there's benefit from listening to him. No one taught me about the concept of an ISA. No one taught me about the concept of a stocks and shares ISA. No one taught me about the concept of a way to open a investment account on Trading 212, all this stuff. Now, some of those aren't good things to do, in my opinion. I don't know anything about stocks and shares, even though I worked in banking. I don't want to do that, but I've been told instead to sort of sit and go through index funds and pledge towards that every month.
Absolutely.
Which is fine.
You then hedging. So people don't understand the concept
of hedging.
This is
not financial advice, people. This is just what I'm personally doing. Okay. And that's what I wish I was told when I was younger.
Good disclaimer there.
So the point your first paycheck, first paycheck, I just wish I put £100 out of that paycheck into a stocks and shares ISA. And I just left that. I kept doing that as a monthly payment over the years. Because if I did that from 21 until the right page of 32 I'm at now, I'd have quite a bit made. And no one taught me that.
Let's do a calculation. Give me the number of years there.
11 years.
Right,
£100 a month. You doing a compound interest calculator?
So 1,200 a year times it. I'm just in the capital first. Yeah. So the capital you would invest is £13,200. Yes. Now let's be conservative. Let's do 5% a year. I can't do it on this calculator, but I do have a compound interest calculator, which would do that for you. So guys, it's not just, if you did manually, you have to do 5% on each year and then keep doing it. And you can't do 5% to the power 11. Now? Have you got a compounding? You can't do. I
can find one real quick. Don't worry.
No, I've got it. I've got it saved as a tab. You want to do it? Go on. Where to go?
What do you do on your phone? Anyway, as he's doing this. So I wish someone told me that, but respect to my parents, they just told me, hey, save money for a house. They tried to get me on the property ladder. I didn't understand the concept of property. I just thought, Jello, it's fine. Things will work out in the future.
Was it 11 years?
11 years. Oh. I just thought, Jello, it's fine. It'll work out in the future. And I should have just taken the leg up that they gave me. I'm very lucky. I know not everybody has this luxury, but they just wanted to get me a buy-to-let mortgage. I didn't know what that meant because I wasn't financially literate and I didn't understand the meaning of it. Looking back on it, should have done it.
Okay, so being conservative. The capital you'd invest, so capital meaning just the cash alone value here of investing £1,200 per year over 11 years, so 1,200 times 11, 13,200 with a 5% per year, which is conservative. You probably get 89%. You get 89%. Or even just on that, you'd have close to 18,000. If I increase that 5% now to 9%,
I would have made £18,000. Wow.
You would have made close to £23,000. Now, what Indy is talking about here, which I think it was Warren Buffett who said it most famously, is that the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest. So here's my, now at 34 years old, the principles I'll be teaching ICM about finance. The best time to invest is always now. So don't worry about, I wish I'd started then. So just invest. Be consistent. And you have to set up standing orders so you don't feel it. If you physically have to move the money to invest,
you won't do it.
You will not do it. So it has to leave. The two books I recommend to read finance. One is called The Richest Man in Babylon. The simple principle for there is you have £1. You can obviously extrapolate from pound upwards to 10,000, 100,000, million, whatever. If you have £1, live off 60 pence, 20 pence put towards debt, getting rid of any debt you have, car loans, finance, mortgages, whatever. And then that leaves you another 20. 10% of that put into some sort of active investments. That might be a business you want to start. And 10% put into something passive, like Indy said, the S&P 500, some sort of index fund. People always come to me and say, oh, yeah, Apple's really good and Tesla's really good. Why don't you just invest in that? I was like, you could put all your money into Meta,
but they're unicorn stocks, and stock picking is so risky, man. Like everyone who tries to do it loses money.
That. You lose money, but you lose your bal.
I have a mama who is an actual trader, and he's been through this. Day trading? No. He used to be in trading. He isn't now, but he grew up as a trader. Now he's doing other stuff. But he said, look, he sat down one day, went back over his losses and makes over the past X amount of years, and he said, I've broken even. He said, it's not possible. You can sit there and be like, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, but no one has a crystal ball to look into. And it's very difficult to do that. So anyway, that's what I wish was told to me. What my parents were good at was kind of teaching me how to save. That is a baseline principle that I don't think a lot of people even follow. So shout out to mum and dad for that. And their hopes and ambitions are stick to property. It's a safe investment. It makes sense. You can get property and you can buy it, flip it, put it on buy to let, all that stuff. I didn't understand that. It didn't appeal to me. At the age of 32, I wish it did appeal to me. So these are all little lessons, right? But Desi mentality towards money is live very, very chilled. Do not spend too much money. Do not live beyond your means. Even if you have means, don't use it. Roti dal. And that's it.
Roti dal.
Roti dal, and that's it. He's going to cough. Roti dal is fantastic. Okay, it's underrated, actually. I crave it nowadays. Anyway.
I think Yeah, when we look at some of these principles, we may oversimplify sometimes and be like, oh, Desi people just hoard. And I wouldn't say they're frugal. You could say they're a bit KANJOOS and they just don't do anything with their money. But yeah, if you look at the good parts of it, that what you just said, living below your means, right? That could sound like, oh, because you live in a world now where there's all these self-help financial gurus who are like, nah, you need to manifest it. Sochalo, don't be like, I can't afford it. Think, how can I afford it? So then you just sell all your money, do as bollocks.
But there's so many luxuries today as well, Karan, that you could buy. So many. Like the level of luxuries you can buy today versus 10 years ago are unparalleled. Think about it. Brand new iPhone, Apple Watch, Whoop strap, many subscriptions to many different platforms. Your basic can just leave your bank account so seamlessly without you feeling it.
Jimmy Carr said this great thing where he said, there are things now that we readily enjoy and use that, the richest kings in the past could never even dream of, like having a shower. That was the first thing. But then he also said, he goes, there is nothing that you can buy in the world's largest mall today or shopping center that you will give a shit about in 10 years. And then it was like a mic drop moment when he said it. And I was like, do you know what? Bang on. Absolutely true. And I think what you're saying is, and this, look, I mean, you're in that game, advertising, right? Like it's just so persistent. There are some things I'll scroll on my Facebook ad and I'm a hyper optimizer. They clearly know I'm a hyper optimizer. So they will show me something that can improve my life by 0.0001%. And I'm like, good cheese, right? But then I'm like, do you really need it, right? Like, is your current solution that bad that you need to invest in this, and this, right?
No, it isn't.
It isn't, right? And that old adage, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
If it's not fixed, break it.
That's what people do. I'm a big believer in repairing things as well, rather than just aimlessly replacing it. You and me both with our Apple products. We take care of them, we keep them. You've got a new laptop. I'm assuming you're going to keep for 5 years. You don't need to. That's the other culture, replace.
I learned early on to buy quality than cheap stuff. And this is a hard lesson that, again, our parents won't teach us, but if you buy quality products, they last longer. It's a simple fact.
Quality products that you take care of last longer. Yes.
Yeah. But I always thought that, I'll just get the thing that will tie me over, but the tie me over thing will break again and again. So I went through a phase where I bought like really average headphones and then those would continually break every 6 to 10 months. Yeah. And I thought, okay, the amount of money I've spent now on 6 sets of headphones, I could have bought 2 quality ones that last a long period of time. So when it comes to tech, I will spend a lot more because I know I'm going to use it every single day. I'm going to get the max wear out of it. It makes the most logical sense for me. But that's me. Not everybody's like me, and other people are going to think differently, and that's completely cool.
And this beautifully brings me to my point of the definition of frugality, which is spending on things that you find meaningful. Okay. For example, somebody may really enjoy Diljit and spend £500 on a ticket to see Diljit because they value Diljit, but they may not spend it on Kupre.
Are you speaking about yourself?
I'm not speaking about, I didn't spend £500.
You really made that. You still won't tell me how much you spent on your tickets. But
I spent £350.
Fucking hell.
That's what your wife said as well, Sanj. So when Sanj, I messaged Sanj.
Oh my God.
Sanj went, all right. Actually, I'll tell you the reaction. I'll tell you again. Sanj, all caps, multiple lines. Fam!
350 quid. God, and you could have bought 3 normal tickets with that.
It's true, but I had a prime experience. So.
Your experience, was it? Okay, we're going to touch on this another time. We're coming to that next week. I'm seeing him tomorrow. We're coming to this next week.
Oh, tomorrow? Shit, it's tomorrow.
You will get the full Clara, okay, from me for that price. Okay, I'm going to sit on that for a week, and then I'm going to come to you and say the things you could have bought with that amount of person. Yeah, you bought 2 tickets.
3? Yeah? I could have got 5 pairs of Skechers. Bunge. Look at his face.
Straight to
just
hell.
When you thought the Skechers were gone.
Straight to hell. I'm going to piss in your Skechers one day. Honestly, I
actually think that will get given to you as a challenge, and you record it and post it and be like, I did it, and now he can't wear them. I think you'll actually do that. And actually, I'd rate you for doing it. I'd be like, he had the balls, he said he's going to do it, and he did it. I'd actually rate you for that.
I'm trying to analyze what our parents thought of it, and what they do versus what we do now, and where that transition change has changed, and what traditions they actually embedded in us. And from those, what do we want to take forward? Yeah. Right now, we're getting in the weeds of some finance cheap shit, which isn't us. I'm just trying to understand the habits of what our parents did versus what we did. Okay. And one thing that stuck with me, one thing that stuck with me was I saw my dad last week, and I was telling him, I had a flashback at uni. He gave me like a £50 note at uni, and he said, I'm going to give you this £50 note. You're going to keep it in your wallet. And every time you come back and see me, you're going to show it to me. And I was like, why? And he said, because that way I know you didn't spend it. And he said, but if you need to spend it, that's fine, but it has to be on something important, but you shouldn't spend it. So I thought, okay. So he gave me this £50 note. 22. And then for 3 years, I'd come home, and when he'd ask me, I'd show it to him. He's like, okay, cool, fine. Done.
You just kept looking at it.
I had it folded in like a quarter, and then put it away. It was like a square, basically, in the back of my wallet, behind my driver license.
Can you say my precious and just do this?
My precious. I didn't do that.
You do.
I completely forgot it was in there at times, right? But his mentality was, if you're ever stranded somewhere, that 50 quid can get you somewhere. It can get you somewhere, can get you somewhere, as in, can get you home, can get you emergency food, can get you a phone call, like all that stuff you need to do. You can definitely use that with that £50. And now, recently, he's done the same thing to me, Sanj, Bubby, and Bao. He's still doing it today because I reminded him of that the other day on the weekend. He said, right, everyone come here. We're like, yeah. He gave us 50 quid and said, right, take this. And when I ask you, you got to show me it.
I have interest. Was it the crisp red 50? Was it 20?
Yes, it's a crisp red 50. Yep.
Where's the supply coming from?
Huh?
They're rare, man. Unless you go to the bank, you ain't got no 50s.
Listen, Dad goes to banks. Dad only deals in cash.
Do you know what?
He very rarely uses his card.
Do you know who has these red notes? The only time you see a stack of red notes is in Dragon's Den, on the table. And they got the 50s.
Yeah, next to them.
Oh my God. CSK, Punjabi Dragon Den's edition. Can you imagine him? Would he invest in things? Anything is...
No, he wouldn't.
The guy would come in and be like... He'd be like, orange juice. What was the name? Mango and a Coke. Would kill
Mango and Coke together will kill you. Yeah, I've got the cure for it. But game changer. Anyway, so Dad only deals with those crisp £50 notes. Yeah, and he gave it to us as a thing to say, next time I see you, you got to show me now. I was like, Dad, I'm 32 years old. I don't need this, but okay. And I'm thinking in the future, you know what? That's actually a lesson I actually might give to my kid, because in the future, I feel like that's a good mentality to give him. It takes away impulsivity. It gives them some responsibility and gets them out of a pickle in a bad situation. That's quite cool, in my opinion.
You said, Dad, I'm 32. I don't need this, whilst accepting and taking the money.
No, of course, because he wouldn't let me leave without accepting it. We all had to accept it.
Okay.
I'm not going to spend it. It's going to just sit in my wallet now. That's it.
I'm just saying, you didn't say no. That's what I'm saying.
No. We all said, no, this is dumb. And then we all said, all right, we'll all do it if all of us partake in it. And we all agreed.
The challenge accepted, huh?
It's fine. It's not even a challenge. It's just keep it in your wallet. That's it, right?
Okay. But the concept of emergency fund, yeah. So when we were growing up, it was the 20 quid. Didn't have the 50. It was 20 quid.
Yeah, 20 isn't much now, mate.
yeah, inflation, right? So yeah, okay. That's another thing that should be taught. Inflation. Why do things become more expensive? And even like in school, I never understood because you learn that banks can print money. So when you learn about the Weimar Republic in Germany, when they had that massive hyperinflation, I was like, yeah, it's a good thing. Just print more money. Why is that bad? But then they're like, but the money has no value. But like, why doesn't it have value? Like that, when you're young, you don't understand.
Yeah, you don't get it.
Because you don't know what money is, right? Like, saving. So saving is something they've definitely taught us about. One thing I appreciate now, and I think you will say the same answer. So when we moved to this house, right? And we've obviously we had another house before. That house is paid off, is mortgage free. And Dad always had this thing about, well, you want to get to the point where you're mortgage free, right? But growing up, it's like, no. You get one house, pay off the mortgage, so you can buy a bigger house. Then you pay off that mortgage, so you can buy a bigger house. That's what you think like as a kid. And then you become a homeowner, right? And you start paying the mortgage. Look at his face. He's like, I will never own this house in my lifetime.
I don't think, I think by the time me and Sanj pay off this house, we'll be retired. That's it. I genuinely don't think it'll be paid off until we're retired.
Okay,
That
so two
is
things there. So it's a
quite
forever
sad
home.
thought.
It's a, you know what, guys, please rewind the conversation when I'm talking about this. And all you see, just watch me now. And he went like this, he went,
Looking at the floor like, oh,
just
God.
despair. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Literally.
Mortgage from the French word. I mean, mort, engaged, to death, till death. Right. But again, now as a homeowner, I think the advice I will give children, my children, and you give your children is own your home and then be happy, be content with that. Not sacrifice. If you have then surplus money that you would have put towards a mortgage, either put them in investments, have experiences like you said earlier, go on holidays, but don't fall into the trap of BMW Pulse series.
Yeah, I don't need a bigger house unless you have loads of kids, then I get it. But even when you have a lot of kids and you won't downsize your house, it's like you don't need to have the house that big anymore. You could downsize, take some best out and enjoy your life. You don't have to give everything as inheritance. You can just live your life a little bit. That's one thing I wish I could tell my parents and they'd listen, but they won't. And that's fine. That's their choice. But yeah, that's one thing that I'd like to just get out there a little bit. Anyway, getting in the weeds here. I've got one other thing that I am happy to take forward in the future. This is quite a contentious issue. So when I came to my open day at university, my cousin was also at the same uni here from Canada. And we had my open day / interview. I went to it and then we went to go and see my cousin. Said hi to her. She gave me a little tour of campus as well. And then we left and my sister turned around and said, oh, actually, do I give a pesa? And I thought, what? I didn't get it. And she said, no, in the V, you're not going to get it until you're older. But when I was at uni, someone who was older that came to see me always gave me pesa because I'm a student and they're like, you need it. So she turned around, called my cousin back up, asked her to come outside and gave her a £20 note and said, this is for you. And my cousin was like, what are you doing this for? And she said, just accept it. Ask your dad. He'll explain everything. Like you'll just get it. And then that's it. She left and she felt better. And she said, I felt like I needed to do that. Fast forward now to this year, I've got another cousin who started university. My brother's in the same thing. He went to go and see her. They took her out for dinner and gave her £20. And she doesn't get it. But he said, no, I need you to understand that this is normal and this is what we should do because you're a student and we need to look after you. This is a way of us looking after you. How you choose to spend this 20 quid is up to you. You can go and spend it on clothes. You can spend it on your night out. I don't care. But this is for you to do what you want to do with it. But I know students are in need of money at uni, so take it. And she did. So that's a tradition that I hope won't die out. But the one I do hope dies out, and we said this in the past, is giving pesa at the door to the kids. That's different. Because those kids don't need it.
Okay, you don't feel they've earned it.
No. Those kids don't need it. They're living at home. You don't need the pesa, okay? Your mum and dad are actually looking after you. Everything's fine. You're not paying bills at home. Not that I know of at the ripe age of 10 years old. Okay, so that's not right. But at university is different. You're on your own. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my compromise middle. And I feel like that's a nice thing to carry forward to the next gen.
Happy with that. What's your thoughts on pocket money?
So I've seen this happen with Sanjay's sisters and my sister. Sanjay's sisters are having the kids earn their money through chores.
Different. That's not pocket money.
But it kind of is their pocket money. It's their money that's given to them through chores.
Definition of pocket money is you're getting this irrespective. No come. This is just your allowance.
No.
You want to call it.
Okay, allowance.
What they're doing is based on commission. That's what people call it. You're doing this, so you get this.
Which is a smart way to train them, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, I'm saying that's what it should be. This idea of you get the money either way. So the two things I picked up on that I want to instill are there should be some things that you do and then you get it. But also, this is your house. So there are some things you should just do because it's your responsibility to do, not for pesa. I think there should be a distinction between those two things. These are your kapre. They need to go in the wash bin. You need to maintain this. This is your clean area. Tika? Not getting money for that. But if you do a special job, different
like
thing.
cut the grass.
Yeah, cut the grass is one. Or one thing I really do want to instill. I want Akam to get to the age where I can start showing her films as well. I used to do this when I used to coach people. I'd be like, right, your homework is you're going to watch The Founder. then you're going to come back and we're going to talk about it, or like The Big Short or whatever. And then we have some sort of financial lesson about it. So they come, I'm going to be like, be entrepreneurial. What are you going to do? How are you going to make money? I can't wait for that.
My sister has done this recently with my niece. How
was the experiment?
So it was a different experiment, but what happened was my niece had a bunch of like stationery that she didn't need anymore because she was going to a bigger school. So she chose to set up like a garden store on her front road. She printed out a bunch of leaflets, made them herself, and then posted them around the houses. That she was given like 50 quid to work with at the start. She ended the day 50 quid up after printing leaflets and giving everything out. So she made
100 quid.
She was given 50 to start to pay for her cost of printing, etc. And then she ended the day 50 quid up, just 50 quid profit. In her head, she thinks she's made 50 quid, but she's really just netted out 0.
Oh, you're saying, okay. I thought you mentioned you made 100. Okay.
No.
What you're saying.
But it's a good way to sort of teach them about like cash flow, all that stuff. Yeah. So that was cool. What I wish my parents also did, because we had the off license, I wish there was a more coherent system to show me how the off license finances work and how you can understand ins and outs of cash flow each month, how much are wages, how much money comes in on like a monthly basis. Is that averaged out? Obviously, it wasn't this at all. My dad just did pure Desi com, had the person and thought, this goes back into here. Let's buy this. He did things on instinct. It wasn't logistically set out in spreadsheets like how I would think it should be.
Or use an accountant or...
none of that. It was so there you go.
Like £1,000 baniya, 900 to me and 100 to tax man.
There you go. So that was interesting. I wish I had a better understanding of that for the future. So when you're doing cash flows, tax man, dealing with all this stuff, VAT, going to a cash and carry, buying stock, checking the dates on it, just having it all systemically put in would have made sense to me a little bit better instead of just buying things, bringing it back and stacking it on the shelf. I missed that key lesson at the end of it, which is what's the operational expenses of doing all this? I didn't see that. I just saw I'm doing this and that's it.
A good game to play
is Monopoly.
It's very, I mean, that's an actual game. Yeah, it definitely is Monopoly. And Indy got taught a lesson about...
You owe me a rematch, you absolute top-notch.
I owe you a rematch, but you learned the invaluable lesson, that in real life, there are off-the-board deals. Because that's how it does operate. There are things that I offer to people. For example, I leveraged a bit of medical power today in exchange for some fast tracking of IT access or something I needed. And
you did it on the cloud challenge video. You got £1. You gave a full medical consultant to a lady. And she gave you £1. She's like, this is the best £1 I've ever spent.
Absolutely. So, what's the point I was about to make there? You took me off track. What were we talking about? A game. Right, yeah, sorry. The game is, me and my friends used to do this. It's like when you go somewhere, you just like what you're saying there when you're talking about the shop. It's like you ask the question, how does this place make money? And you try and work it out. Like I remember having watched The Founder and then you go to Mackey's and you actually look for the speedy system. You're like, it is operationalized. Like everything happens like this, and this. And then I read the book, The E-Myth, after that. And that was all about, okay, so what you're trying to do is you're trying to do something consistently, like we said earlier. And that's how the franchisee model works. It's like, how can you systemize all these things so it's consistent? I thought that's brilliant. You need to be inquisitive. I think growing up though, and I definitely say this having known you for a long time, I mean, you've been raised very well. You've got good manners. Your social etiquette is good. You're pleasant to be around most of the time. So I mean, the parenting has been obviously been good, right? And so sometimes I think there is this kind of, maybe it's a fear that if you're raised and all you talk about is money, then you become this money-minded kind of,
money-hungry person.
Money-hungry person who's just about paise and maya, and you don't do anything else, and you're not focused. You have no academic focus. Not that I'm saying academia is everything, but you're not a well-rounded person. So I think because of that, I think Asian families, Punjabi families, if they're not from, and now you're different because you were growing up in a kind of business household, but if you're not from a business household, then the focus is more kind of academia, being more well-rounded. Then you kind of pick up these other things. Because schools definitely don't teach you. I mean, percentages is a great example. I remember learning about percentages, right? and compound and all that stuff. And I was like,
God, I still don't get percentages now. Like I am a full-fledged adult.
Even mortgages.
No. Mortgages I understand, but it's
That's
like
what
doing a percentage change of a percentage is very difficult to me to comprehend. So when I'm doing it in Excel, it blows my mind. I'm like, I still don't get it. I have to numericalize it and then figure out the percentage change. I use a percentage calculator online on Google to help me understand it sometimes, just to save me time. So yeah.
The difference over the original times 100 is percentage change. Very easy.
Yeah. But
had they put the context in maths about, say, compound interest, right? And you're going to buy a house one day, and if they said, if Billy wants to buy a house, and he's got this much paise, how much is and I'm like, irrelevant G, irrelevant G, rather than just kind of abstract like percentages. Like, why am I calculating the percentage? It doesn't make any sense. So there are definitely some things, but you have to make it relatable and relevant. And I think so. Gordon Ramsay, Dave Ramsey,
Ramsay.
Different Ramsey, Dave Ramsey. Everyone should look into the 7 baby steps to become a millionaire. The thing he talks about, and as a parent, he's got a book about parenting, and he talks about teachable moments. And he's like, there's all this stuff you want to impart, but you have to make it relatable and relevant at the time. Because sometimes you might tell some kid something, but like, why do I care? Right. And the same thing, like dads told, like, Anakari, don't do this. And you're like, but why in it? Like, you just want to say, well, why? Well, why in it? It's like, then tanu pata laga.
Yeah. If they tell you why, then you stomp it out quite quickly.
Yeah. Although the caveat to that is there are some things you just have to experience in life yourself and then be like, get it. I really get it.
There is, but it is good to safeguard your kids and tell them why. So for example, kid walks to a flame, I say, don't touch it. And they say, why? And I just say, they don't get it. But if I say it's going to burn you, watch, I throw wood in there, you watch it burn. I'm like, that burn. Do you understand that could happen to your hand? They're like, yes. Cool.
Bro. You go to Google, you go, Adik, burn victim. Adik.
Okay, that's obscene. Okay, PTSD. I wasn't going to do that.
Adik.
Yeah, I'm not giving my kid PTSD. I'm trying to show them that things burn. Okay.
Like, Fantastic Four, flame on.
Buddy, they're going to grow up with some mad PTSD, generational trauma. I ain't doing that, okay?
Have you seen Packs of Fags? The front of them?
No. Oh, those. Yeah.
Wow, this is lung cancer. Wow. I'm just like, okay.
Give me 20.
Do dabbe de de.
Oh, when I used to work in the off license, man, the people would walk in and be like, yeah, 20 Benson and Hedges, silver. I'm like, all right. Then I get it, and it just says in the front, smoking kills. And then I give it, I'm like, here you go, mate. £6.80. Yeah, cheers. I'm like, ching, you're basically paying for your death here. All right, Jalo, off you go. Enjoy.
Hold on. I'll see you tomorrow. Indie's all about that repeat business, yeah? Repeat customers. Lifetime value. Lifetime value. He's like, tu abhi flavor try karega cigarette ta abhi hege.
What I found mad was how Dad would only give credit to certain people he knew as well. So when they came to the off license, he'd be like, yeah, he's good for it because he lives around the corner. Basically, I know where he lives. If you don't pay me, knock knock. Yeah. But he'd be like, yeah, he's good for it. Payday's in a week. He'll come back. He'll pay me. And he did. I thought, okay, Tika. So that's fine. But the guy would only settle up with Dad. They wouldn't set up with like an employee of Dad's. They're like, no. I need to see Mr. Kara. He will settle it up and clear off the debt. Because Dad had like a debt book of people.
A ledger.
Yeah, ledger basically of who owed what. Yeah.
In your estimation, growing up, or even now, you can answer the question. If you ask your parents the question, what's your definition of wealth or being rich? What would they say?
I don't know, man. I feel like for mum and dad, they would measure it as how not academically successful. What career have your kids gone down, and is it reaping good rewards for them? That to them is success because they put so much into us, birthday wise, education wise, all that stuff. So for them, if that has reaped a reward, they're like, it was worth it. If it wasn't, and you're some dud, and you're just in some
geography degree, yeah,
no. Geography degree pay me well, okay. If you're in some random job that someone could get coming out of university, and you're 45 years old and you're still doing it, that's not good.
Just recap: 3 children.
Yeah,
you were probably educated throughout your entirety. The other 2,
pretty much. Yeah, I had 3 years where I wasn't. The other 2 both made it to grammar schools, but they were privately educated in primary school.
Yeah, good bunch, man.
So they were smart enough to make it, and I didn't. So I needed the Lego. So,
You had to be paid for it, right?
yeah, unfortunately so.
Love child.
Unfortunately so.
I've never asked you this question. I do
Yes.
rail on a long time, but during secondary school, did you enjoy geography? Like, were you very good at it? Was it like your thing?
No, bro. No. Do you know what it was? There was a...
What was it? A cloud? You saw a cloud?
No.
Saw a cloud one day. I thought,
I genuinely believe it was down to the teachers. Yeah. And I had, for a few years in secondary school, I had a really good geography teacher, then one absolutely trash one. And the way they did it was they split it. One was human geography, one was physical geography. My human geography teacher was really good. My physical geography was absolutely shit because the woman was horrible. So,
just so we understand, what's human geography, what's physical geography?
So human geography is stuff like geopolitics, understanding how the world works, understanding population stats, why birth rates are declining, all that stuff. I found that really interesting.
It's actually really useful.
Yeah, it is. And it's useful today in life. Yeah,
that's very useful. Okay.
Physical geography is like rocks, weathering, all that shit.
The first thing you say, rocks.
Yeah, rocks, weathering, all that stuff. These are types of rivers, like all that shit. I was like, okay, I'm really
the estuary.
Yeah, all that shit. Like this is a healthy ecosystem. This is how it works. I just found it hell. Right. It was so boring. But I had a really good human geography teacher. I did really well in that in my exam. So in the exam, you had to answer 3 essay questions or something. I chose 2 human, 1 physical because you couldn't do 3 physical or 3 human.
Yeah.
Then I did really well in that bit, and I chose to do that as A levels. And then I had the same teacher in A levels, so it worked out. So there you go. That worked out well. But it was because of the teacher, and I enjoyed that conversational aspect of it. Yeah, there you go.
No, that's a good comment. And actually, the first part, what you said about human geography should be mandated, man. That should be a mandatory taught. That's very,
it's all
very
important
useful.
now, isn't it? Today, in today's world.
How does the world work? I mean, look at the world now, man. We're on the brink of bloody World War III. So, yeah, very important.
Geopolitics. Yeah.
Geopolitics. Well done, kiddo.
So there you go, people. Let us know your Desi parent habits in the comments, man. I mean, that'll be interesting to see how everyone else has been brought up. I've come from a business household. I think, Goran, you've come from a non-business household. I think a lot of people
academic
a lot of people have come from houses where their mum wasn't working and she was the mum who looked after everything at home. She was the housewife, and the dad went out and made the money and came back. What was that like for you? Like, how did you understand the value of money there? Like, share your stories, man. Genuinely, it's all interesting. Everyone's all different. And I just want to hear the habits you'll be taking forward in the future. Who knows what they are? Right, next segment. Goran, jingle me, please.
Yeah, I forgot it's me, isn't it? You know what? Because of the new way we do things, you don't get to do your jingle anymore.
I should start the whole podcast saying Hunji Benji and Baji's. That's what I should do.
You should actually. I think
I will try and enforce that from next week onwards. Judgment way.
Where's mint in my mouth?
Oh, well done. Who asked you to have a mint right now? At least you're not coughing in the mic, though. Thank you for not doing that. I really appreciate it. You really improved.
I'll tell you another thing, right? God, this is a double pod week. And the pod we had earlier in the week was with a guest. You're going to see it soon. I only did 5.
And that's okay. But when you started at the beginning, I was about to shut down. I was about to cancel the guy and be like,
I saw it.
Fucking cut it out.
I saw myself doing it. And then I was like, right, what I need to do here? Because I still feel like I need to say it. So I'll mute myself. And then I can go, away. I was like,
do the audience know what happened with the G Sidhu episode? Let's just tell them now. Okay.
Is this confession? Is this a confession?
This is a confession. Go on.
This is an unscripted confession.
Jingle first. I'll do 2 confessions this week. Go on. Jingle.
Oh, I saw what you did there. That was very clever. You can do 2 confessions, are you? You can do 2 confessions. Say jingle me.
Jingle me.
That's what you got to ask when I do. Confessions of Brian Munday.
This hummingbird called Dr. Goran Mavi hummed 187 times during the G Sidhu episode. I had to go through it and manually edit his humming. It was actually obnoxiously annoying. Don't ever do that again. Thank you.
Indeed.
Oh, what?
Where's Indy gone?
Now it's telling me I haven't got a stable internet connection. Of course.
Indy has
Of course.
paused. What's happened to his internet? Has the MacBook died? Or has his internet gone? You're
Everything
gonna
is
get
shut
the
down.
vibes of me singing.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Wow. Oh, wow. God, you're still there. That's scary.
Yeah.
Your face is like,
Yeah.
I'm not going any. You can't get rid of me.
187 times, Karan. What do you got to say? What do you got to say to
Here's
us?
what
Do you have to say for yourself?
I got one phrase. I got one phrase for you. You can translate it. It's your wife's favorite phrase now. Ni tode teri mora vargi.
How is that relevant right now?
I have the presence of a peacock. So when I'm there with my guest, I'm giving him my full attention. Right. This is Indy's attention, which...
You know what's funny?
Right.
You don't do this.
You're right.
No.
You're right in this conversation.
Shut up. You don't do this in person in episodes.
Why?
You only do it.
Why? Think about it.
Because you feel the need to make them feel acknowledged while you're listening.
Right? Because when you're in person...
head, then.
When you're in person... No, but it's so weird because I watched you do it on Tuesday when I wasn't doing it. And I was like, Indy's acknowledging, but it's like the most silent acknowledgement. And I get it. It's the right thing you're doing. It's just not natural. You got to agree. It's not natural.
It's not natural, but you have to do this.
Thank you.
Give the best listening experience. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Now, what did that Punjabi phrase mean?
Which one?
Something
Something about looking like a peacock.
We went over this last week. What's Tor?
Oh, I forgot.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. No, it wasn't last week. It was like 2 weeks ago.
No? It's the
oh, no, it was. It was a 90s episode. Yeah.
Think differently. Apple. Vakari soch. So, Vakari was different. Vakari Tor. Tor is your... Think of Conor McGregor.
Yeah. Presence.
That's it. Tor teri mora vargi.
Your presence is like a peacock.
Very interesting fact about peacocks. You know the peacocks that you see, the ones on Sanjay's WhatsApp. Is that male or female, Indy?
I don't know.
The male peacock is very, very, very attractive. The female peacock is very ugly. Fact.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. So all the peacocks you see, they do the all male. Because that peacocking is trying to attract the ladies.
So that is why we call it peacocking.
Exactly.
There we go.
I mean, look all the stuff you learned. Now, confessions of Indaveer Jagga.
It was my wife's 33rd birthday.
This is a very special year.
It was a very special year. She calls it her Jesus year. Now, let's get into...
You may want to cut that out.
No. I can say that happily. I'm not cutting that out. It was the year that Jesus died. He was 33 years old. She calls it... People, it's a common phrase to call it that.
But is it right?
People say I'm in my Jesus year. Yeah, it's a normal thing to say.
This is the point that was made about...
It's like 23 is your Jordan year, 24 is your Kobe year, 34 is your Shaq year. Come on, man. Like, you can do...
Wow.
You can do
Basketball references.
But you can do it however you want.
I think, look what happened with the opening of the Paris Olympics. The point that was made was you... Okay, fine. So they did this... they did the Last Supper, but they did it with the LGBTQI plus community. And they did a very interesting take on it, right? And so a lot of the Catholics and the Christian faith came out and said, look, any other religion, you do something like this.
Marches. Full Biadbi.
Yeah, exactly. Biadbi Hunter's coming after you, right?
Full Biadbi.
But if it's Christianity, it's like, Tiga, no problem. That's the only reason I was saying about that. That's all I was going to say. John.
Okay, so Sanjay's 33rd birthday. Now, we've not hosted a lot of people at this house for a party, but we had a gathering of many family members.
Sorry. I think you finished the sentence, but I was going to say...
Yeah, I did finish the sentence. I knew what I was saying.
More people at your hotel.
Listen. I'm on about party here, okay? Park your other shit to the side, okay? This is important. I need to get this out, okay? Right. The party happens, but prior to the party, we take numbers of how many people are coming and we start planning for food. Very fair. Yeah?
Very fair.
Cool.
Yeah.
Plan for food, and I am sent out with a massive list of things to buy. Now, I know we are getting samoseh spring rolls. I know we are getting pizza. I know we are getting cake.
Pizza is delivery pizza?
We are going to go and get it, and it's made, basically. Yeah, it is, yeah. They're 18-inch pizzas made, okay?
Yeah, nice.
Okay. If I tell you those 4 major things,
Yeah.
Do you think that is enough to feed 20 or so people? On
If
its
you got
own?
enough of, yeah, absolutely. If you got enough of each of those things, absolutely.
So why was I sent out to buy an infinity number of snacks?
Right. I'll tell you why. Because there was another Punjabi, what's the word? No, it's not a myth.
It's an
There's a
urge.
thing. No, it's not urge. It's like
It's
a
a
code of
fear.
conduct. This is Punjabi Rahat. Okay. Punjabi Rahat says, Kata nahi hona chahida. Right?
Which means
There should never be less, right? So nobody should go hungry. Koi nahi bhukha nahi jana, right? Which
Yes.
means, in the beer, you buy all the food in the world, huh? And it doesn't matter because there's two options to the end when there's no one eats all this food. No one ever eats all this food, right?
no.
You either doggy bag it up and go, does he lajo, and give it to all the guests. So then you're like, I wish the pie, spent the money, and then I gave all the food away. Or you throw it all away. Or you keep it yourself, and then that's your khana for the next 3 months. But Punjabi people, घट नहीं होना चाहिए.
We overbought massively for my wife's birthday. Okay.
Give me a sense.
Huh? Give you what?
Give me a sense of that.
Right. So we bought, and I shit you not, I think it was 4 bottles of Diet Coke, 4 bottles of Coke, and 4 bottles of lemonade.
Just 12 bottles. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry.
I kept
Just to give context, how many people are at the party?
20.
20 people.
So
you got
we
12
think
bottles.
that 20 people are
Yeah.
going to polish off 12 bottles.
20.
Okay, cool. Whatever. Fine. All right.
Yeah.
I'll buy the
Yeah.
12 bottles. It is what it is. Okay. I'm very okay to do this.
Yeah.
Then we got to the snacks and nibbles. And I was told to buy 8 packets of crisps, double of each. I didn't do the double of each. I got singles because I thought this is getting ridiculous now. This is where I draw the line. Okay. We
How
bought the
were
packs of crisps home
presented?
in a bowl.
Yeah. So big shareables, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I brought them home. Sandra's sister's here and she's laughing at me. She's actually physically howling. And I'm saying, why are you laughing? She said, because this is not enough. And I said, I think it is enough. And she said, no, it's not enough. I said, all right, fine. We then sent it to her husband, Suk. Suk then says, I think that's a sufficient amount for everyone. And me and Suk are like, yes, we understand because we know this is not the main course. It is just a part of the food. And everybody else is going to have the rest of the food. On top of this, we also have peanuts. We also have other things coming. People are going to be fed. Then we're not going to run out of food. And if we run out of snacks, they can move on to, guess what? Other snacks. We don't have to keep replenishing more of the food that's gone because that is
Correct.
a bottomless pit. Okay. And that is not fair. Lo and behold, the 4 extra bags of crisps I bought weren't even touched. So what did I do in my brain of brains? All the food that I overbought, I kept all the receipts and I went back and returned everything the next day because I thought I'm not hoarding all this shit in the house. No, I've returned all the extra bottles of lemonade. In fairness, the 4 bottles of Coke were all polished through. Okay. But I went back and returned all the lemonade, 2 bottles of Diet Coke, all the crisps, a bunch of olives that we didn't even open, all this shit. I just went and returned it. I said, we didn't need to buy all this.
Listen, that's a bit sophisticated for Punjabi pie. Olives, mate. You got samoseh, spring rolls. I'll just put a few olives out.
Oh, yeah.
Little sticks as well, yeah?
Yeah. We didn't have sticks. No. We had jump chip.
Oh,
listen. Use your hands. Use your hands.
बड़े खराब जे grapes nice
Use the
नहीं है
hands.
grapes.
But what I don't like is how Punjabi people will overbuy for the sake of overbuying and then they won't give it back. Give your shit back, okay? Keep the receipts, go and return it, save yourself some paisa. It is not fair to sit there and keep it in the house. And added to this, my dad and mum came from Birmingham. And when they came, they called me. No. You could shush. Okay, I need to land this.
I don't want to know. Tell them about your 30th birthday where there was dual catering, parallel catering.
It wasn't necessary.
Right? No, but give people a sense of that, right? There was pizza and cake and all this stuff.
And spring
then
rolls and samoseh
full
and kebabs.
Desi menu.
Yeah, everything.
Parallel catering. So when your mum and dad are coming, I know they're bringing stuff.
They call me and they say, Indavi, what do you need? I said, nothing, just bring yourselves. And they said, okay, no problem. I said, I mean it. I said, okay, fine. They turn up. I'm unloading the car. What do I find in the back seat of the car, Karan?
I know. Was it these glass bottles?
Which glass bottles?
I don't know. Shouldn't you tell me the story and you just come back to me about something happened at the end of the night and then you had to go to the car and get this glass bottle of pani or something for your dad?
Oh, no. That is separate, but I will tell you that. Okay, so Dad says, I bought all the soft drinks in the car. I got loads for you. I've got this, that. I said, Dad, why? And he's sneaky, you know. He bought it in and he put it in the hallway. I was like, this is going right back in the car. And he said, why? I said, because Dad, I know how this goes. You bring it in the house. It lives here now. It lives here. And you're happy because you've decluttered your fucking garage. I know how this goes, old man. I've seen this. You knew what you were doing. And he fucking started smiling at me, right? He knew what he was doing. Yeah. So I put it back in the car. As I'm putting it in the car,
Sorry. When did you put it back in the car?
Immediately. As soon as he brought it in, I went straight back in and put it back in. No, straight back in. I did that. I went, no. I put it straight back in the car, okay?
Michael Scott.
And he said, why?
God, no,
I'm putting it in the car, put it in the car, I look in the back seat, and the back seat is filled with Kirkland bottled Barney, the shit you can only buy from Costco, okay?
Yeah.
That's what he had. He had a full crate of it. It hadn't even been opened, sealed, everything. And I thought, why have you bought this? He said, in case you run out of Barney. I said, Dad, I'm not going to fucking run out of Barney, okay? I've got a tap here, and I've also got a hose at the back. I'm not going to run out of Barney. If I run out of Barney, this is the least of my concerns. If I run out of Barney, I need to leave the village, okay? I need to leave London. This bottle of Barney is not going to cover me over, right? This crate. Where am I going to store it? Yeah? This guy was so adamant that
what was the answer to that?
He needed to give me.
When you asked that question, where should I store it? What did Dad say?
He said, store it in the garage. I said, no, I'm not storing it in the garage. I don't want my garage to turn into like Barney storage or drink storage. No, I'm not doing this. No. I nahi hona chahiye. Okay. Then he bought in this like...
That was correct, Punjabi.
Thank you. I learned it from you in the past episodes. Anyway, so he then says, can you bring in the cardboard box? I said, all right, fine. There's a cardboard box and it's alcohol. And I thought, okay, this is Dad's alcoholic beverages. He needs to take his home with him because my alcohol fridge compartment or cupboard compartment is full because me and Sanj don't drink, but people gift us drinks. So I was like, someone's got to drink it.
Yeah.
Him and my dad finished through a bottle of, Sanj's dad and my dad finished through a bottle of whiskey and a couple others. Then Dad opened some Bombay Sapphire and then he had other bottles. He had Bacardi, etc., all this stuff. And I said, this is going back with you. And Sanj said, no, you should keep it here. I said, why? And she said, because he's going to stay in the future and he's going to want a drink. You should give him a choice of drinks that he wants. And I thought, okay, I will compromise on this.
And at that moment, daughter-in-law of the year.
Yeah, she won.
Yeah.
She won in that moment. Yeah. So there you go. That was the shenanigans. Desi hoarding of food is not necessary. Overbuying of food is not necessary. And with that, we also sent people home with doggy bags of food. So much so that I was in the kitchen trying to clear up space. So when we finished the samoseh and we're about to serve the pizza, I said, hang on, let me bag up all these samoseh and spring rolls into like a freezer bag because I couldn't find Tupperware that would fit everything in. Not even Tupperware, just containers. I couldn't buy them in bulk. So I said, let's just get doggy bags and fill shit up. So doggy bags were the best way. Filled it all up. I did 2 spring rolls, 1 samoseh to a bag and just bagged that up. Then when everyone was leaving, I gave them like one of that. I gave them a bag of pizza as well. So in the pizza bag, you had 3 slices of pizza. I sent everybody home with that.
Slow down. You had enough pizza to send people home with 3 slices of pizza.
Got it. We had 3 18-inch pizzas. No, 4 18-inch pizzas. We overbought massively on the pizza.
I love pizza.
So I sent everybody home with it. I was like, this ain't staying here. It's going home with you lot. I gave away all the pizza. End of the night, my dad says, can I have a slice of pizza? I said, there's none left. Sorry, it's gone. I said, but there's samoseh and spring rolls if you want them.
That seems like a bit of a rookie mistake. Like I'm all about giving it away, but you always keep a little bit for yourself to eat because you can eat that much.
No, I gave it away.
You don't eat. You don't like next day pizza.
It wasn't. The pizza was okay, but I wouldn't have had it the next day. And I thought because Mum and Dad are here and we've got food we need to make that instead of living off this pizza.
Oh, I see. Okay, you're now concerned about the next lot of stuff.
Yeah. So I was thinking next day stuff. It doesn't make sense. So we sent everyone away with that. We couldn't do cake in a bag because that would just get destroyed. So we had to finish the cake on ourselves. What Sanj did was my mum came on Sunday to come and see us in general because he hadn't seen the house. He came, he bought more samoseh and spring rolls. I thought, you're killing me here. You're absolutely killing me here. So what Sanj did after they left, she went up and down the street. She gave people free samoseh, free spring rolls. And they were like, oh my God, wow. Yeah.
Oh, sikhage. Oh, waheguru.
This is what I'm saying. There we go.
Wow, they must love. And the thing is, they look at Sanj like, Goriya, like, oh my God, it's so nice. And then you're probably there. You didn't go around, did you?
No, I didn't go. I was like, Sanj, you deal with this. I don't want to go. I don't want the small talk with.
What did Sanj say was the reason?
She said, I think she said we just got food left over. I don't think she cited her birthday. She just said we have food left over. We want to give it to our neighbours. Yeah, cool.
This is an example of off the board deal. Okay, she's building goodwill. She needs the favor.
That's what she said. She even said, like, in the future, if we need to park our car there, it'll be fine. If we have a late party, it's cool. We fed him. Like,
you see,
credit in the bank.
Sanj understand. Well, I mean, to be fair, you're like this as well. You're always thinking about the long term as well. I'm bloody rash.
That's me.
That is you.
So that was my update for you.
Confession.
Thank you very much.
Why did you, and you're a connoisseur of pizza, buy subpar pizza? That's my question.
Because I thought trying to buy high quality pizza in London is difficult. You have to go to Central. I wasn't up for that. And this one was, Sanj had a flat party when she first got her flat. And this is the same place she ordered the pizza from there. She said it was okay. So she said, at least I can guarantee it's going to be 18-inch pizzas done to an okay standard that everyone will eat. And lo and behold, they did eat it. So
are you still, like, I know it's not boycotting, but I know you don't like, Domino's is still out for you or no? Or?
Fucking cardboard, no.
Okay. So you're still out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Just Pizza Express, no.
Ooh, Pizza Express.
Pizza Express is mid, very mid. ZZ's mid.
No, ZZ's not pizza, but Pizza Express is good pizza. Depends what pizza you have.
It's mid, man. It's okay. It's not great.
Give me an example of premium pizza in the UK.
What do you mean premium?
Like quality, not takeaway.
Pizza Pilgrims.
Like Pizza Pilgrim. Pizza Pilgrim is good. Where's that place we went with? Rudy's. That's quite nice. I like that.
Rudy's is okay. Frank and Manca's all right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's good stuff.
Fine. Here you go. Yeah, fair enough. Overbuying of food. Yeah.
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 You've been there before, ain't you?
Just thinking about it. I remember during my wedding week, you were there actually. You were at one of the events we had in the wedding week, and Mum and Masi went to buy ice cream. So one of the desserts, one of the days was going to be ice cream with 99 flakes. And I think they were checking out, and I think Masi got like a couple of dabbe of ice cream, and Mum was like, "No, that's hard like yeah." And we just had, and the thing was,
10 more.
Remember, so obviously Meher's wedding was a smaller wedding, COVID wedding. Mine was big, man. We had a lot of people. You there.
God, I'm getting anxious, man. 10 more pizzas, 10 more dabbe.
Just think about who has freezers that can accommodate 10. And then that's the thing. So we got home.
Now we turn into party.
Where do you pour?
And this is the August wedding you had as well. It was hot. I remember it being hot.
It was hot. So yeah, but it's that same old thing, isn't it? You should never have less. I think where sometimes you get paralyzed is we overcomplicate it. Whereas what you've said is get the big things right. So if it's a birthday, cake, get a good solid main. Pizza is really like, I had pizza one of my nights as well. It's just, you can share it. It's easy. There's no preparation done. And then you want a starter and some accompanying things like a good salad, few little nibbles, but like you said, crisps out, nuts out, just pour. Not like things you have to whack in the oven, take out the oven, this, multiple like serving trays. I think that's where we get a bit like, we're trying to put on too much. Putting on a good spread doesn't have to be like a full, military operation. I think that's the thing we need to do. What you're saying is have less categories, but have more of the category, appropriate amount. And people are happy. I don't think people come there and like, oh, you've only got one starter. Like, I don't think anybody says that.
It's not a wedding. It's not a wedding.
If they do, they can do one. Remember Shindi's baby shower? And then we had the separate parallel man shower. Had the spread on. We kept dipping in, dipping out. It's fine, wasn't it? No complaints.
If somebody comes and complains politely, fuck off, Orja. Okay.
Yeah, no. As India would say, respectfully, there's the door.
Respectfully do one. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. I find that is so rude. Like, I just, I'm like, I find it very heartwarming that when Shindy and I come and stay with you, you're always ringing like, I'm going shopping. What do you guys want? Like, you don't have to do that. Yeah, no, but
if I want to make sure you have nice food.
But if I come, whatever food you give me, if it's your special wraps you make, any of Sanjay's sabji, I remember the shole last time, fantastic. Any of your cereal, like, bro, even if it's 3 days, I've got that long weekend with you of meal deals. I'm happy, man. Like, I'm just very romantic.
On weekends, I will take my time and make some nice food. Weekdays, different story. Weekends, I've got time.
Yeah. You're clearly not busy enough for the podcast, are you?
Absolutely.
Just a quick one. I mean, yours is a very good confession. Mine was about, it's going to sound really inflammatory, so I'll say it. I need to lie less to my patients. Really inflammatory, right? So what am I lying about? I have this habit, and I think it's a very Punjabi thing. If there's a Punjabi patient, right, and obviously when I'm in hospital, I'm doing like multiple things, right? It's never one thing, because my job is essentially troubleshooting. So I'll be doing one thing, and then there's 1, 2, 3 things will come. The other day, I did early shift. Early shift is 8. It means 8 a.m. And generally, the mornings in hospital tend to be a little bit better. Like people just don't have they can't be bothered to come to hospital. I'm not talking about the ambulance people, obviously very sick people coming in like that. I'm talking about the people that walk in, the people that self-present, people like you who come in, tell me about your IBS and your carnacorn and whatever.
People
I'm
like
joking. I'm joking. But you're a medical marvel, all that. And, but this day, Indy, like literally I sat down, we had a member of staff who collapsed outside. Member of staff. I was like, yeah, bring them in. I'll have a look at them. So I got them in my room. I'm trying to see the same person for the next 30 minutes. Nurse comes in. Jazz, can you look at the CCG? Oh, this patient's at the door. Can you look at this letter? Oh, there's somebody's fallen over there. And I was like, and the thing is, so this member of staff is not from our department. They're like, oh, you're really popular, aren't you? And I was like, yeah. I was like, when you're good at something and you're nice, everybody comes to you with all their problems. They're like,
big problems.
Jazz will know what to do. I'm like, okay, Tika.
Anyway. You've become the person at work that everyone goes to. You've become accidentally important at work. That is the worst feeling ever.
Not accidentally important. I'm very important. I'm this is a problem. It's accidentally important, but also like he's kind and he can get shit done. It's a deadly combination.
Oh mate, this is like that meme of Oppenheimer when he sits there and he's like, "What have I done?" That look on his face. That's you. That's you. I see memes about this on Twitter all the time saying I just became accidentally at work and it shows Oppenheimer. And I thought, yeah, I understand that. It's not a nice feeling. Or whenever you walk through and someone's like, thank God you're back. You're like, no. I had shruti. I didn't want to come back to problems. No.
Yeah. I mean, it's really nice. It is really nice when people say that. But yeah, then you're like, oh my God, what horror is coming, man. Because you see it. I see it in people's faces like, I'm like, no, it doesn't mean you offload the problem to me. So now it's my problem. It's not your problem. No, it doesn't work like that. Anyway, so Punjabi patients, right? I'm like, Paji, bas 2 minute. Main aaya. 2 minute aaya main. What's the problem with this?
They count.
And it's never 2 minutes. And then, but then I think about the converse. If I said, Paji, honestly, thonu gal dassa na mainu 15-20 minute lag jane. I can't bring myself to say it. It's always either 2 minutes or 5 minutes. I can't not say that phrase. Because I feel like I'll just be right back.
See, I say 2 minutes to you all the time whenever I'm doing something. You're like, I can't access this. And I'm like, 2 minutes. And then I'll go away and do it. And then I'll come back to you. It might take me 10, but I do say the default 2 minutes. I think it's a big fallacy that we all fall into.
Why do we do it? And the thing is, the person knows it's never 2 minutes either.
I think I put pressure on myself to get it done in 2 minutes. That's why I say it.
I think you're trying to keep yourself accountable. Yeah. So by saying it's 2 minutes, even though you deliver in 10, had you not said 2, you'd probably take longer.
I'm working on it right now, yeah. Why do you think you do it? Do you only do it to Punjabi patients? Are you certainly racist?
Yeah, I don't know. Why is it racist?
You're being
Selective,
racist
but
towards your own people.
It's selective. It's not racist.
You're giving
Racism,
selective premium maltreatment lies to your patients.
I don't know what it is. It's just I can't not. It's like I want to over deliver and promise. I'm like, buddy, 2 minutes my boss. No problem. I can't. And then the other day I was like, but why? Why can't I just tell them in real time?
Why can't you say I'll be back and then don't say a time?
Yeah, or buddy, I don't know how long it's going to be. Yeah, I mean that sometimes that is the honest truth. Because sometimes I go somewhere with the intention of coming back, and then something else happens. I'm like,
thing is, as a patient, we don't get that. All we understand is he fucking said 2 minutes. Where is he? We don't think when you leave, you're going to get hit with another case, another thing here. Someone's flipping arresting over there. You have to go and attend to. All I think is I'm just sitting in my cubicle being like, he fucking said 5 minutes.
You heard of Rory Sutherland?
Yes, I know Rory Sutherland well. I like him.
Right. So
Marketing genius.
Marketing genius. Love his stuff. I'm listening to it recently. And he said this thing, which is I think he was talking about like if you have a car crash and then the insurance company paying out. He goes, just tell all your customers, typically takes 8 to 12 days for the money to come to your bank account. He goes, knowing that it only takes 6. He goes, but if you tell them that, the pre-frame is that every time it comes back, they're like really happy.
Oh, so happy. Bored,
right? Because then he goes, people actually ring in to say how good the service is because you've under promise, over delivered. And I was like, you know what, I might start doing that, you know. And actually, I do this with blood tests. So blood test results. Did you know
that he came up with the idea for Dishoom for the roller dice thing, and you can get a free meal?
I did not know. He talks about Dishoom about how they. I've heard him talk about Dishoom, but not that. You know how he got people to. He said Dishoom is always full at lunch because they started the breakfast service or something like that. He was talking about it. And I was like, that's actually really clever. But I didn't know about the roller dice.
So he said the roller dice thing was an idea that says laws of probability are 16.6% off your meal, basically, is what it is. Now, if you're going to do that for every meal across the business, that's not really that sexy. It's not really that much of a discount. But if you say to them, you roll a dice in between these hours and you can get a free meal, people were like, ooh, they want that risk. They want that reward. So it's worth doing. And that way you build intrigue.
Because you'd go there anyway. Because you're like, that food's good enough. So if I don't win, I'm still going to enjoy it. I don't mind paying. But if I do win, big win.
There you go. And it also means that, I don't know if you roll it at the beginning or end, but I would think if you roll it, if you know you're going to roll it towards the end, you might spend more lavishly in your meal in the hope that you get it for free to get the max enjoyment. But if you don't, you're like, ooh, you know what, Cello, it is what it is. The game's a game. I'll pay for the bill. See what I mean? I think it must be at the end because otherwise people would take the absolute piss if they roll it at the start. Cup of tea,
thank you, bye.
yeah, Jesus. So you got to be. Yeah, it must be at the end of the meal. So I thought that was really smart marketing. Really smart. He understands things on a much different level.
He does, and the way he explains, he's very articulate, and I like listening to him. And the way he explains the frames, I'm like, yes, I'm going to take that and I'm going to use this in medical land with patients. Yeah. It's brilliant. So the blood test generally will take about 2 hours, but sometimes it can take longer because busy samples get lost or they get stuck or whatever in the pipes. So I just say 4 hours. That's my standard spiel now. Bloods will take anywhere between 3 and 4 hours. But as soon as they're back, I will let you know. Most time they come back 2 hours. Good news, the bloods are back. And then, give them the information. So, yeah.
Big mother, some would say.
Maybe I should use that when I'm doing I'll be back in 20, but come back in like 2.
Ooh, maybe. Yeah.
And then like, did you even go? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I did. Sharp got yeah.
Smart man.
Yeah. So
anyway, people, I think we'll wrap it there. You happy to wrap it there?
Happy to wrap it.
Let's wrap it there. Science
is that some of your slang again? Teaching me? Is that a rap?
Okay.
Is that a honey pea?
Okay.
Is it honey pea? Correct me if I'm wrong. What is it?
I think next week we need to go through Gen X phrases with you and really test the rigors of your vocabulary understanding.
All right, you do the research. Bring it like a quiz, like I did with the thing.
No, I have got the research done already. I knew I was going to do this in the future.
This is going to be good.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good to see how old you actually are.
Do you know what I learned this week?
Dustman.
You'll know it. KMT.
Kiss my teeth. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. So somebody sent to me at work And I was like, what? And then she said, oh, it means kiss my teeth. I still don't know what it was. So I had to Google it, took a screenshot of the Google and put it back. I was like, oh. And then she came to the camera and I was like, show me. And then she did it. And then I tried to do it. And I did like a bad noise. I was like, I was like, and it's just, I was like, I can't do it. And she was like, yeah. She's like, Jazz, you're really old, man. I was like, okay.
Yeah. KMT, you must have heard that song by Drake. No, you haven't. You don't listen to Drake. Okay, I take that back.
I listened to some
Drake. It was big around
Drake,
your wedding.
But
that song was big around your wedding.
What was the song name?
KMT.
Oh, the song was called KMT. Okay.
It's a song that goes Batman. Da-da-da-da-da. That one.
Okay. Fine. Kiss my teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm learning, man. Every day's school day, man. Do you know what was interesting? Final point I'll finish on. The poll that I put about the shoes. Now, I thought the shoes poll about the Skechers, people are happy to see the shoes die, was going to be really like 95% to 5. I was actually, because even though I didn't like them at the end, I was so surprised by the support. I was like,
we have an older fan base, Karan. You know this.
Yeah. It was just interesting. It was interesting. But look, after this, go on.
There was a kid last week who listened to the episode about the 90s. He said, you know what's jokes? I listened to this whole episode. I'm 13 and none of it makes sense to me.
Zero. He's like
13.
0.
He was born in 2011. Damn. I also don't know if he's actually listening at 13 years old. If he is, thank you for listening to us. Don't know why you listen to us, but thanks.
It's good, man. We're doing good. It's a good job with it. Yes.
Good job. Anyway, people, hit the like on the video on the way out. Love you lots. And a few guest episodes coming soon. You will see why.
Dun, dun, dun.
And how good they are for the community. Goodbye.
Oh my God. Bye.
Thank you guys for watching. Check out the rest of our episodes here. And don't forget to subscribe here. We'll see you guys on the next one.